NXT took place tonight in Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. To start the show off, the culling were out, and this was Izzy Dame and the NXT Women's Champion Tatum Paxley out for a 6-woman tag team match. Then their partner Lola Vice came out, and then their opponents, Fatal Influence, were out last. So you had Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, and Lola Vice taking on JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Lainey Reed, the new addition to Fatal Influence. And it was basically just a regular 6-woman tag match you would see on TV. Not much to it. JC got the win on Izzy after she hit the rolling encore. So it was kind of thing where it was set up where Tatum messed up the match. So clearly they're building up Izzy turning on Tatum. It's only a matter of when. We had the NXT Spotlight on the Americanos. Then they were interacting with Josh Briggs in the locker room. He made a challenge to, I believe, El Grande Americano. Then they show a video on X of the former Xia Li. I forget her name now in TNA, but she was challenging Kalani Jordan to a match. You had some of the ladies talking to Kendall Gray, Tyra May Steele, and Carmen Petrovich with Ren Sinclair. I think those were the four talking. And they're talking about some random stuff. I think it's Kendall's latest victory. I think when she beat Lash Legend a couple weeks ago or something. Then Kalani Jordan shows up. She talks down to them, in particular Kendall. So that sets up a feud in the future. I think that'll actually be a good matchup if they have one, because Kendall, I heard, had a really good match with Tyra May Steele, who was in this segment a few weeks back at the Evolve show, which I did not watch, but I did hear they had a really good match. So Kalani Jordan's out next, and this is her big heel promo, and she talks about being kicked out of the women's locker room, being overlooked. Here's the thing with Kalani Jordan. She's trying really hard. I thought she did okay. The delivery wasn't the best. The material was fine. I just feel with Kalani, there's just sometimes with a wrestler, I can just tell that they're a very nice person. And I know Kalani Jordan just comes off as a very, very nice person who's very likable and is a natural baby face. She's very athletic. I think she can be a good face on the main roster, but she just doesn't work to me in this role. I don't buy her. I don't buy her as a mean girl. I just don't. But she did try hard. I thought the segment went on a bit too long, dragged on too long, and I think it kind of peaked a little bit too soon. So I think this wasn't really a very good segment, to be honest. Backstage, Sarah Schreiber, who it seems like we haven't seen on TV in a while. It's usually they either have Kelly 1 week, or maybe, I don't know, maybe they rotate them each month or something. They have Kelly 1 month, then Sarah the other month. But Sarah Schreiber's interviewing OTM backstage on the tag team division. The Chase U guys confront them. They leave. Andre Chase thinks it's a bad idea for the Chase U pupils or whatever, students, to go after OTM. You had Josh Briggs taking on El Grande Americano Ludwig Kaiser. And so Tavion Heights distracts the referee, allowing the Americanos to interfere and allow El Grande to win the match. Good. I don't like Josh Briggs. But unfortunately, Jasper Troy was in the fucking crowd, and we have to watch a Jasper Troy match next week. And I'd much rather watch a Josh Briggs match over a Jasper Troy match. Although the bar is not very high, I think Jasper Troy is a lot worse. So, backstage, Kalani Jordan goes up to Ren Sinclair in the locker room, and then Ava, who is just awful. And I have to say something. There was some controversy with her on X, I heard. That she's complaining about Brian Alvarez, who I'm not a fan of. I don't like Brian Alvarez of the Figure 4 Wrestling Observer, or whatever it's called. He was very critical of her, which is fine, but she took offense to it, and I think he had Kelly Kincaid and other people, really ripping into Alvarez. All I'm thinking is, I don't like Brian Alvarez. However, he's right to criticize Ava. He called her a Nepo baby, but then he kind of backtracked. I think he's kind of being a coward in a way. I don't think he wants to take the heat. But, Ava is just really bad at her job. She sucks. She is a Nepo baby. The only reason she has her position is because of her father. Ava is a terrible talker. She has the worst delivery. She doesn't have any enthusiasm. She has no charisma. Zero. And I know charisma is not inherited. There's no charisma gene, but it's just funny that her father is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and who's like the most charismatic person ever, and she has zero charisma. She has the worst delivery. It looks like she's reading her lines off of a cue card, and sometimes it doesn't even look like she really even cares. She doesn't want to be there. She sucks. She's awful. The only reason she's on TV is because of her father. So they try to talk to something. I don't know what they're talking about. Tyra stands up to her, and that Kalani that was, and Ava made a match later tonight between Kalani and Tyra. Ricky Saints talks to Miles Bourne backstage briefly, and I think Miles wants to face Trick after Ricky does. Last man standing match is next week. Ricky Saints and Trick Williams did an interview with a split screen. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Trick Williams. Trick Williams sucks. He's Jey Uso on NXT. It's so obvious. I've been making that comparison for a very long time now. I see Trick Williams as Jey Uso. He is an entrance. That is it. Jey Uso is an entrance. That is it. He is a horrible wrestler. He is a horrible promo. He is garbage. So is Trick Williams. He is a terrible wrestler, a bad promo, no real charisma. I don't care what people on X say. Oh, he's got aura. He's got aura. What the fuck's his aura? Anyone can have a good entrance. He is a shit wrestler, man. Trick sucks, and so does Jay. I really hope they don't push Trick. I know the whoop that Trick will get popular. I hope it doesn't last very long. I'll just say it like that. So you had Ricky and Trick do the interview. Leads to a fight backstage. Trick gets the upper hand after he uses I forget exactly the weapon he used. It's kind of like this pole, or it's like this metal or steel. I think it was a steel pipe he used. So to set up the last man standing match next week. Zarya is out next. She takes on Brent Sinclair in a speed match. Zarya wins decisively as Sol Ruka watches on. They tease tension between the two of them, and it looks like Sol is a little upset with Zarya. They preview next week in the Gold Rush show in 2 weeks. Javon Evans is warming up backstage. Kalani Jordan's out next. She took on Tyra May Steele. Kalani Jordan got the win after a split-legged moonsault. Basic match on TV. Santino appears on the screen from his hotel room, it looks like, which was kind of funny. He says Kalani will defend her title in the triple threat match. That's a TNA Knockouts Championship at the Gold Rush show. Backstage, Sol Ruka talks to Ava. She wants her rematch with Blake at Gold Rush, and then Fit Influence walks in, and JC wants a women's title shot. All I thought was, Ava's so awful. Why do I have to watch her so much? Can I at least just give her one segment? But I mean, making her talk, she has no delivery. It's the worst. She can't talk. She has the worst delivery. It's like, oh my God, can you be any less than unenthusiastic? Javon Evans is out next. He took on Sakan Sugars of Dark State. He got the win, though. Sugars is the guy with all the charisma in Dark State. I think he might be better as a single star. I wish Dark State would be released. I'm not lying. They preview next week's show. Then backstage, Blake Monroe talks to Ava in her office. This is the third segment with Ava Raine. This is criminal. That's criminal. She wants to wrestle at Madison Square Garden, and then Ava puts her against Sol Ruka, even though she told her earlier, Sol Ruka that is, that she couldn't put her into a match because of the injury. So now she's putting Sol Ruka in a match. She changes her mind, 30 minutes later? What a stupid GM, and just an awful actress who plays that GM. You had Ethan Page, Chelsea Green, and Alba Fire heading to the ring for their celebration because they won the AAA mixed tag team titles or whatever. Backstage, Tatum Paxley is very apologetic to Izzy Dame that she lost her match for her. Izzy gives her a pep talk on retaining the belt, and then we get the Ethan Page and Chelsea Green celebration party. Chelsea, I just have to say, looks absolutely stunning in her red dress. She was incredibly gorgeous tonight in that dress. Wow. So they're paranoid about Joe Hendry. That's what the segment becomes. They assume he's in the cake because he always appears out of something. And it was pretty obvious he wasn't going to be in the cake, but someone else would. And I thought, all right, it's probably Thea Hale. And that's exactly what happened. So I think it's Alba Fire who says Joe Hendry's name. He appears on stage, and then Joe Hendry announces his partner for Gold Rush, and the theme music goes off, and they say her name. It's Thea Hale. She appears. She pops out of the cake, and then her and Joe Hendry get in the ring, and they start smashing pies onto Ethan Page's and Chelsea Green's face. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be cake or pies. It would have made sense if it was cake, but there was both. They smashed pies on them, and they got them to retreat, and then the faces posed with the cake and the pie smashed in the ring to end the show. So Thea, I did like her own I liked her theme music for the segment, and I did like the pairing. I think it might actually work. So that's how the show ended, and then